Hi guys, this is Deb. I want to apologize. We have had a little bit of a break in our 12 days of the Advent calendar. I am getting over a cold and I'm still doing a lot of coughing, so we're just gonna dive right in. We are on day 9. So we have 4 more to go. So you might see a lot of these videos pop up over just the next 24 hours so we can wrap this up. And again, we don't want to take any fun away from this, so let's just dive right in. So the last day we recorded was day 8, and we had this beautiful twine in like a pink and a blue color. So I'm sure we might be pulling that out today, but let's go ahead and see what is behind number 9. I think it's ribbon, but I don't know. That is just a guess. So let's see what we have here. And I kind of was thinking about what kind of fun fold we could do. So I have one in mind. We'll see if it still works, right? So, oh boy. Yeah, we don't want to rip our nice little tags here. So I'm hoping I can maybe get this one fixed up, and then I'll tape it together. Because it's such a cool box, right? All right. And you guys, this is really thick if you didn't order it. It's a nice cardboard. So I kind of looks like I bit that off, right? I'm going to take a piece of tape and we'll get that fixed up. Okay. So we have ourselves, this is cool. So let's see what we have here. I'm going to move this over here to the side and we will open this up. Looks like it's 2 packages in one. So we have, okay, so these look a lot like Memory and More cards. That's what I would associate these with. Kind of the thickness. You can see there's looks like some journaling here. We have some open areas. Oh, super cool. If you remember, we have those gold pieces. I bet those would fit nicely in these. Oh, and here's one with some pretty butterflies. All right. Okay, so I have to look at one thing. You know, I'm looking at this and I'm wondering, do those dies with the butterfly die? Would that cut that butterfly out? I don't know. But I'm going to look and see if it would. I think I have a butterfly. Do we? Oh, no, it's too small. I was just curious. This little guy, he's a little too small. But that's what I was thinking when I first saw that. All right. Well, looky there. So we have all of these note cards. Let's see how many we get. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you get 10 of those. All right. And then let's see all of these. So these look like die cuts that we can add to our card. Right. Oh, super cute. Oh, look at this. I think it's a little turtle. Oh, it's a bird. At first I thought it was a turtle. Okay. So we have some circles, some cherries, bows. Let's see what else we have here. So just a lot of different embellishments here. Cupcake. So lots of fun. A tag. So here's something that's cut out very similar, if you remember, to the die. So here's that largest die, and it looks like this. I had this left over from before. So it doesn't like line up completely with this one. Excuse me. But it does fit, it fits in there. So you could create some sort of like a stack or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So these are all one-sided. So we're going to kind of have to figure out what we want to use. So I'm going to go ahead and start. And I'm thinking about the cards we've created here in the past. And maybe one that might look slightly different from what we've done. And I don't think we've done anything. Okay, well, I think we're just going to have to, look and see what we want to do. I'm not quite sure, but I know we're going to use this. So I'm just going to move these off to the side, and then we are going to make our card base first. So we are just going to use some basic white, thick basic white cardstock. And so let me bring in our paper trimmer. Oh, I was like, oh no, I know I set it aside. I was like, don't tell me. Did I leave it? All right, here we go. So let me pull in. I got a lot of paper sitting over here, so I need a piece of thick basic white. And I just want to make sure I'm getting that. You know what? I was going to use white, but I think I'm going to have to change here because that is not very thick. So you know what? We're going to use this crumb cake. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut it at 5.5. So we're just going to, again, do kind of a regular size card. And then we're going to score it at 4.25. And then I will show you what our next step is. All right, so we're going to score at 4.25. And now what we're going to do is we're going to turn our paper, and we are going to cut it at 2, let's see. So this is 5.5. So I actually want to cut it at 2 7/8. So right kind of in half. And I'm going to cut right to the score line. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to cut right to 4.25. You can see that right there. So I'm just going to take my blade and go until I'm lined up to 4.25 right there. And then I will turn my paper. And now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to line here at 2 7/8. And I am going to score up. And that is going to give me a barn door fold. So let me grab my bone folder. I left that out. That's okay. So we'll just use my finger here. And I might have to take just a snippet. If you guys can see, I may have left just a very small edge there. So I'm just going to kind of cut that off. Now, I could use just scissors. I have a fresh blade in here. So, you know, when you get so close to the edge, sometimes it just doesn't quite do it. I don't know. You know, it's like when you're trying to take off just that like 1/16 of an inch. I just don't think it's ever very clean. So it's not the blade, and because I think it's just that it's so close to the edge. Okay, there we go. That'll work. All right. So now what I want to do is we are going to take our lovely barn fold here, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of white cardstock and put it in the back of this card. But I also, excuse me, want to take a piece of pink and put it back here. So let's take a piece that is going to be, and let's make it 3 3/4. So we're taking basically a 1/2 inch off. So 3 3/4 by 5. And this is going to be our, kind of our backdrop to our barn door card. And that's going to sit back here. Okay, so this is our piece that's going to open up, and we want this to be at the top. I'm making this up as we go along. So, and then we're going to add a piece of white down here at the bottom for us to journal on. But I think what we might do is let's take a piece of our designer paper and put it here, and we will match it up with one of these cards. Excuse me. And then I think we'll put a piece of white back here. I was debating if I wanted to do that, but I think that's what we'll do. So I'm going to take, so that was 3 3/4 by 5. So let's do 3 1/2. Okay, so let's do a piece of white that is 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So basically we're just giving ourselves a quarter margin all the way around. And we are just going to go ahead and adhere that right to our piece of basic white. And let's go ahead and we'll adhere this right to the card. And then see where that leads us. So I hope you guys are all staying busy and have nice plans for the weekend. I know I have something, I have a craft show that I signed up for. It's Sunday in the afternoon, and I gotta tell you, I'm not feeling too with it, but I hope it all works out. So I'm looking forward to just meeting people, and it's always fun just to share some fun little crafting handmade items and kits for sale and stuff like that. So great opportunity. Okay, so we have that. So now what I want to do is I want to take this and put a piece of designer series paper. So let's grab the paper that we have from our kit that we still have left over. Oops. Let's see what we have here that we might want to work with. So we're dealing with pinks, and let's bring these cards in as well. I'm kind of liking this striped one to be really, I'm thinking like this. So I'm wondering if this becomes kind of the bottom piece. Yeah, what do you guys? Yep, I think that's, oh, this is pretty too. I think, did we use this already on a card? Let's see. I can't remember. Oh, we did. So we used that one. So I want to do something different. So let's take, we'll take this piece and this card. Let's do that. All right, so we'll put this paper away. Back in its window there. Okay. I'm sure we're going to have to bring that back out. Okay, so now we need to take this paper and we're going to put it right here on our barn door card. And let's go ahead and cut that to be, we'll want it to be, we want it to kind of line up with this pink as opposed to going all the way across. I think that's what I'd like to do. So this was 3 3/4. So I think we'll do the same. We'll do 3 3/4. And then this is 2 3/4. So we'll do 2 1/2. Okay. Let's see. Actually, I think I want it to be 2 1/4. If I want the margins to be correct all the way around. Okay. So I wanted it to follow that same kind of pattern all the way around. And then this piece, we are going to put just like that. And now I'm debating if I like it, maybe a bit. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this at 2.5. And let's just see if it makes a little difference. I don't know. Maybe I might like it a little bit better. Let's see. Let's see if we like that better. You know what? I don't think so. I mean, I kind of like it, but I think I'm going to do this because I want that border at the top to be the same as the border at the bottom. So I think we'll leave that. We'll put our pretty stripes on here. That is a different shade of pink, but I think that's okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and adhere our piece of designer series paper here on the bottom. And okay, and then we're going to put this at the top. And then let's figure out what embellishments we want to use here. There are so many cute ones. And before I glue this down, I am going to wrap some of that ribbon, excuse me, around it. And then I think let's look at those gold pieces that we have as well. So I'm gonna put those in there, and I think those were part of our day 4. These right here. Let's see what we can find that might look super pretty here. Oh, there's so many cute ones. Could put that maybe right across. Oh, that looks kind of cool, doesn't it? I think I might kind of like that. Okay. So let's find out what we want to stamp on this. So we'll get our stamp set out. And then, there it is. It's right here. A little bit over on the other side of the room. Okay, here we go. So I do think these colors lend themselves to birthday wishes. Otherwise, I would say let's do the big thanks, but I think we'll do birthday wishes. I think that will look very pretty inside that nice frame. So let's go ahead and do that, and we will use some Misty Moonlight. So we'll take our stamp here and pop that on our block. And then we'll go ahead and stamp this down. You know, sometimes as you craft, I don't know if you guys find this, but sometimes I find I do better when I have left stuff kind of out, because then I don't have a tendency to have so many things to choose from. I only have a few, and I think sometimes that helps us stay focused, or less like, oh, what about this? What about that? And I found that whenever I started crafting and doing scrapbooking, I found when I had very little, there was, excuse me, a lot less choices. So I was much quicker and faster in scrapbooking. And then the more stuff I got, I was like, oh, I could do this or that. Which, you know, I'm all for having all the stuff. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes sometimes it can be overwhelming, right? So I want this to cover up this, and I'm thinking down here, instead of it being so square, I think I'm gonna rip the bottom of this, just you know, just to give it a little more texture and dimension on the bottom there. I like that. And then I want to add the ribbon, or not the ribbon, I'm sorry, the twine. And I really just need a bow on this, because this I'm going to put over top of this area. So I need this to go to the top here and give it a little bit of a border. Then this is going to be right here. And I might move that down just a tad bit. There we go. And then we're going to decorate with some of our embellishment items that we have here. So let's go ahead and take this bottom piece right to about here, and let's just glue this piece down, okay? We'll just glue this area, and the rest will float. So I'm just gonna, yep. Okay. All right, didn't want you guys to have to hear me cough there. Okay. All right, there we go. Now we're going to take this piece and let's go ahead and put this up on some dimensionals. And then I'm just going to put a piece of the twine on this and connect it to the side. All right. So for this one, we're going to move our dimensionals in just a bit so that they don't accidentally fall off the side. And I think this will work. This will work fine. Okay, we're almost done. I'll tell you, when you have all these nice embellishments and additions, it's amazing how you can sit and you can focus on just kind of being creative there, isn't it? Okay, and there. So now our card will open like this, right? And now we'll put some of these beautiful embellishments here on our card. So let's first put maybe some of the twine, and I think we'll accent with the blue here. So I'm gonna create a very, I'm gonna just do one loop, but I'm gonna create a very whimsical bow. So one that's a little bigger looped, and make it a little more flowy. And you know, I'm looking at that and thinking, oh, maybe I want to, yeah, I think I just want to do one. I won't make it quite as, maybe quite as, well, maybe I will. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to go ahead, and I think I'm going to have to make it a little bit more whimsical. Let's see. I was going to put it off to the side here, but it does look a little dead. All right, so let's, because I don't want to throw this away, so let's just see if I can get something that maybe looks a little better. If I double it up. I did not get the look I was after, I guess, there. Oh, this might look a little better. Isn't that funny? Sometimes we think we know, right? All right, here we go. I guess we do. We just are changing our minds, right? Okay, here we go. Let's get out our glue dots. And we'll get one of those little guys. Put it on here. There we go. Right next to the birthday. Who would not love to get this card in the mail? Okay, and now we could put our our pieces that we have here. Because it's a birthday wish, we could do maybe a cupcake down here and this bouquet of flowers right up here. I think that looks super adorable. So let's do that. We will put one of the dimensionals on the bottom here, and we'll just kind of hover that right over top of the bottom. And then this one here, we'll just add some adhesive to the back. And we are going to have ourselves a beautiful card. And then why don't we, while we're right here, let me put some of these things away. Let's add some of those, I keep thinking there's going to be some sort of shaker card maybe in one of these little components here, but I'm just going to take, I'll take 5 of them, I guess, and put those out. And we'll get these little guys back in the envelope that they are from, and that way we don't lose them. And then we'll go ahead and finish off our card with those sequins, and we are done. And we will have card number 9 finished. So let's get out our glue dots again. And, excuse me. And I'm just going to go ahead and lay these right over top of each glue dot. I think I find that might be the easiest and the best way. Unless you have some glue, but you know, we tried that and it was a little bit of a challenge, at least for me. So you guys might be able to do that a lot better than I can. So you try it, you go. If you can get those to kind of stick with some glue, that is awesome. And maybe if I would have the glue like on a mat, it might be a little better, but oops. Oh, there it is. Okay. And we'll add that right here. All right. Now we're going to take our Take Your Pick tool, and these will be easy peasy to place. And I'm not going to lie, I do like those. Oops. Uh-oh, look at that, you guys. The way this comes with a little spatula on the other side, looks like I pulled that right out of there, didn't I? Okay, there we go. Hello. All right, we're just going to take these now. Our dog hair. All right, and I'm going to just put these in a variety of places on the card. Now, when you get those like adhesive back gems, it looks like they're like on a glue dot. They're just on a perfect glue dot that fits on the back of those. So when you get the ones that don't have adhesive, that's okay too. All right, and I have 2 more, so why not? I think we'll put one maybe in the middle of the cupcake. That would be cool. Excuse me. And then we'll just do one more right here. Oops, maybe. Maybe just down here off to the side. All right, and there you go, you guys. There is our barn door card. I love it. I think it turned out very well. So just another option. And then the other thing you guys can always do if you create these cards is take the piece you've cut off and make that the piece that fits in the center. We didn't do that today, but don't ever throw that away. That is a regular nice layer for another card. All right, you guys, thanks so much for joining, and I will be back on as soon as I can to do the next video. We'll be on day number 10. All right, thanks, you guys. Bye.